Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing you WWC Week 4 standings, transactions, kill-death ratio, the Week 4 recap. And I am joined today by Savage.
Hello.
So, as you can see from the standings here, Photon is in first by 2 points for O plus 15. Who's really surprised that Photon is leading the league?
Yeah, not surprised either. Man, slays the game.
Checkmate, even though he has 0 time to prep, is still leading, or is in second, tied with Spare. Ian, of course, the man picked up a 6-0 versus me that helped get his differential in check. Blaze, Jake, who even Jake has admitted he's really surprised he's in the top 6. Matthias, off the back of Charizard, and Slick, who has fallen down to 8th. Then Damien and you, Savage, are tied at 9th.
Okay.
And then it goes from there with myself, Huff, Naily, Matt, and Suspect leading the way at the bottom. We do have a couple of games that are not played. Zippy is still dealing with illness, and he is recovered, but because of how many games he's stacked back, he's doing what he can to get caught up. So he's got 2 outstanding matches to catch up on, which is why he's only got 2 games, why Thriller's only got 3, and why I believe it's Naily is the other one that only has 3 games. So that will hopefully get sorted here soon, and we can get back on track with having everybody have the same amount of games played each week. So,
Yep.
Savage, you are fringe of playoffs at the quarter mark. Is that why you decided to pop some transactions?
Yeah, after losing the Spare that week, it just put my team in reality check to be like, there's something that's flawed. And I felt like me bringing Mega Venusaur these past 2 weeks, it's just, did I bring Mega Venusaur these past 2 weeks? Okay, just bringing Mega Venusaur throughout the season. I was trying to do a replica of Season 1. Didn't work out because on how Gen 8 is with mechanics and stuff like that. So I decided to do some transactions.
Yep, and so you ended up dropping Mega Venusaur and switching to G-Max, getting G-Max Charizard. So for those of you keeping score at home, Yard is the only Zard not drafted. Swapped Rapidash for Granbull, Slurpuff for Rotom-Mow, and Torn Eye for Swallow. I love the G-Max Charizard. I think that is a wonderful mon, and I'm surprised nobody drafted it because with a Life Orb and with Sun Up, it can be rather lethal. So why did nobody draft that thing? I don't know. Plus, you pair it with Zeraora and Kyurem and Necro and Wish support for its solar power problems, and your team has good bulk with Cofagrigus, and Steelix is pretty bulky, Persian can be bulky, Granbull with Intimidate, Assault Vest can be very decently bulky, Hitmonchan is bulky with Assault Vest. Like, you've got things that can tank hits, deal some damage for Chip, and then Zard comes in, gets a speed boost, and goes to town. I'm not looking forward to playing this. Please be gentle.
I'll be gentle.
So, the Granbull is really the only pick that I don't understand, because I just don't think Granbull's that good of a mon, but that's just me personally.
I don't know. Most draft leagues I've been in, webs don't go well for me. I know that's a weird thing to say, but I just like raw power speed instead of using Araquanid or Leavanny and getting up the webs, because I feel like you just waste turns to get down the objective to knock out the 6 months and etc.
Try Rabombi sometime. If
I'll
you
try
Rabombi, because Rabombi is an offensive Weber with the loss of Hidden Power Fire and Ground to check Steel types coming in. That's basically when you get your webs off, or you defog if need be, but Scarf Rabombi, Heavy Duty Boots Rabombi, you can pretty easily get webs up with it. and still hit very, very hard. So just a tip from someone who's used Ribombee quite a bit recently.
I can consider Ribombee, but like I'm not a mon like frail. I'm not a fan of frail mons. Like things that can die to like a libero sucker punch.
You don't
or
like
like
glass
a
cannons,
+1 suck.
basically.
Exactly.
Understandable. So, besides you, Slick also made some transactions, getting rid of Mega Sceptile, Metagross, and a Weber and Galvantula to pick up Achu, Goodra, and Aggron. I know you have some thoughts on this one.
I do. So, looking at this team overall, let's see if we pull this up real quick. Looking over this team overall, with having G-Darm, one of the busted things in meta, having Aggron and Conkeldurr, and you know, he has some niche mons down here like Garbodor or Maldo for spin. But why drop Mega Sceptile when you don't have a ground resist? Like, against your week 4 matchup where Photon had a Rhyperior, came in, didn't have a good switch in. I don't know. Having no ground resist out of Landorus is kind of really bad. So
we'll be talking about Photon versus Slick this week because it's a match that kind of went horribly wrong, and so we'll discuss it. But I don't know. I don't really understand Slick's team. Like, he's got bulk, and Aggron and Conk can be bulky. Goodra is a special wall for days. Hatterene has decent bulk. Incineroar is incredibly bulky. Seismitoad can be bulky. But his speed tiers are so
weird.
Messy.
Yeah, it goes from a Alolan Raichu to Landorus to G-Darm
to Goodra, which most of the time Goodra is not running a ton of speed.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm not sure how this team is going to work out. But...
in my opinion, if he traded, like, something, I don't know what, maybe Garbodor or Maldo for at least a Wish Passer, I feel like this team could be more solid, because Aggron's without running Wish, it feels like if my opponent gets up spikes against him, then Aggron's gonna take this consecutive damage that it doesn't want to take, and Aggron's just gonna be weakened to the point where he's forced to bring out Trap Card early, or he doesn't want to bring in Darm to late game. So
I mean, he does have Healing Wish hat, so
yeah.
So, but yeah, unfortunately, Slick is out of transactions for the season though, so there's nothing really more that Slick can do to fix his team other than trade with people. So
yeah, his only removal is Landorus with Defog and Armaldo with Spin, which I haven't seen on Armaldo yet this entire season. I don't think. And Magic Guns Hatterene.
Yeah. So your thoughts on my trades, and before you criticize me for not having a Stealth Rocker, I thought Diggersby got rocks, and then when I checked, it was spikes, not rocks. I was like, okay, I don't have Stealth Rocks.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
Especially when I'm going up against you in that Charizard, so please do not bring Charizard. I have rocks. I still have Palossand and Nihilego. I still have rockers. Just imagine that they're there.
I'll imagine them. Imagine Mary Stealth Rock. So, alright, so
other than that, your thoughts on my transactions?
What? Oh, I'm scrolling down. Whoops. Okay, so my opinion, I understand you want it. Why do you want Diggersby?
Because Palossand is an inferior ground type. It just doesn't have the damage output, and like versus Jake, I didn't. I'm relying on Melmetal and Haxorus to EQ when I need a ground hit to go off. And Melmetal does not want to take special fire types on, and Haxorus doesn't always want to run Earthquake.
That's fair.
And so I was just like, I need a more offensive ground type, not a defensive ground type. And in order to get Digger's B, it would cost me Nihilego. No big deal. I hate Nihilego. I've always hated Nihilego. I've never thought of it as a good mon, never enjoyed it. But I still wanted a grounded poison type. And particularly if I could get a grounded poison type that sets up its own T-spikes. That would be great, because I was looking at my matchup versus you. I was like, he's got Kofagrigus, and I know that Thriller has Runerigus, and I know both of them will probably bring them with T-spikes if they do. Please don't do that. I'm not trying to give you any hints here as to what to bring versus me. So I definitely wanted the hazard support still. Now I have 2 Spikers and a T-Spiker still. Get rid of rocks, unfortunately. Do get Intimidate off of Quillfish, but I just traded one of my special attackers for another physical attacker too.
Okay.
My team is so physically offensive now. It's not even funny at this point.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm fine with the Nihilego trade, because I personally don't think it's a good mon either. It just gets a Fox and T-Spikes. It's like a niche mon. It's better Garbodor with rocks, in my opinion. But I felt like if you kept Palsam for like at least one more week, you would be fine. I don't know. I just feel like the Palsam is necessity for rocks. And not having rocks when you're facing a G-Max Charizard next week.
Yeah, I know. I have to play you, and at some point I still have to play Matthias. And he's got X, so not having a Stealth Rocker is a kind of big issue when I have 2 Zards still to play.
Yep.
So that's gonna be fun. It's a good thing Yard isn't picked up yet, because I really don't want to have to deal with 3 Zards. My Zard's supposed to sweep, not everyone else's. Jake dropping Raboot for Clefairy. I personally think Raboot's trash, so that's a good swap in my opinion. Having double Fairy though, not sure, but 2 points, gives him a rocker, gives him a bulky mon.
Okay. My opinion, I think Raboot is good, especially since is the barrel allowed or no?
Yes.
For Raboot?
Yeah, it's allowed on Cinderace, it's allowed on Raboot.
Okay, so Raboot has a base 90 something speed tier, and that's really good for a middle stage fire type. It does miss out on the Power Ball, but if your team doesn't have a good bulky water, and you're weakened, whatever checks is to resist it to fire, Scarf Raboot with the momentum of U-turn, and I think Baton Pass. I don't know if I'm right or not.
Baton Pass, but it does get U-turn.
Okay. With priority of like Sucker Punch and U-turn and get type jump kick and then Flare Blitz, it's a good mon. Double Fairy, I'm not opposed to it, because I don't think double types are bad until you get like triple water and then triple grass, etc.
Yeah. You mean a rain team, basically.
Yeah. But it could be like, I guess he drafted it for another wish and maybe aromatherapy, but in my opinion, I don't know why he made the trade.
I think it's more for a defensive fairy type, so Gardevoir can do its thing a little more.
Yeah. Now I'm seeing the team, I do think he doesn't want to run wish on the Gardevoir, and he does want to heal his Celesteela and his Suicune, because those mons really like Wish. So.
And he now has 3 Eviolite mons too.
Which is honestly good, but at the same time, it's really knockoff spammable.
Yeah.
You have to be careful for that.
Yep. So the last of the transactions for this week, Thriller blowing all of his transactions, dropping Mega Blastoise for G-Max Caparaja, Pharaoh for T-Tar, Arrow for Talonflame, Entei for Appleton, and P2 for Azelf. First off, G-Max Caparaja, extremely good mon. I will attest
It's extremely, it's so good.
I will attest to this from using it in Academy. It is a nasty piece of work to have to play around. It's got a great move pool. Those steel spikes are really good to punish fairy types. The big question I have...
Yep.
Sand Talonflame just does not work at all. I'm not really sure why that was his choice. I mean, he does have Vish now that can run Sand Rush with T-Tar. Runerigus, or no, actually, sorry, Runerigus doesn't get a boost. Only Rock type do. He does have a pretty massive fighting type weakness, though. T-Tar doesn't appreciate it. Copperajah, even G-Max doesn't appreciate it. Grimmsnarl is a neutral hit. Avila gets bopped. Orbeetle doesn't like getting hit by knockoff, which a majority of fighting types are able to carry knockoff. Same with Runerigus. Like, he's fallen into the trap of the fighting type spam against Sand.
Yeah, fighting types are not really... Like, example, Terrakion. You're only switching to that as Runerigus. And Runerigus is, like, a good wall, but, like, it doesn't get good recovery outside of leftovers. So he has to play around those. But I do think these trains benefited him than the original thing he has. Yeah. It gives all the people who are prepping for him a really retrospect to watch out for, like, speed tiers and power and stuff like that.
Well, and for example, it just makes Vish that much more unpredictable.
Yep.
Because is it going to be Sandvish, where you can prep and calc for Sandvish, build a defensive wall that's like for Banded Sandvish, but then Banded Sandvish doesn't show up. Instead, it's Banded Strongjaw, and now your calcs, you die, and then Mr. Vish just goes to town.
Yep.
But again,
it's always hard to prep against Dracovish. It can come as it's a one-trick pony, but at the same time, it can switch around its variants and like catch you really off guard.
Yeah, and again, the one big critique besides the fighting types against Thriller is that Talonflame, because Talonflame without Gale Wings is troubling, and he basically is forcing himself to lose Gale Wings because he either coughs it up with not running heavy-duty boots and getting sand damaged, or he runs safety goggles to negate the sand, but then takes heavy-duty boots, or rocks damage from heavy-duty boots. It just...
But, in my opinion, I think Talonflame is... Okay, I might get some haters here, but I personally think Talonflame is better than Entei, even with all the debuffs it got from...
Oh, it's 100% better than Entei. It's a premier fire type. It's a good fire type, it's a good flying type. It is an extremely good lower tier mon, but on a sand team, it does not belong.
Yeah, I do agree, because like, you're forced to run heavy duty boots pretty much every time you're bringing a Talonflame. Same way this Noivern work now. You're forced to bring heavy duty boots because it's a good niche mon. And you might use it for like niche Will-O-Wisp against like opposing fire types if for some reason his whatever his water type is. Dracovish does 4 times resist the water, but like outside, I don't think he wants to run a defensive Dracovish.
It does 4 times resist fire types, but Dracovish doesn't get Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah, so I do think Talonflame helps him absorbing fire types a little bit.
It'll help break the grass and fighting and steel types that are going to want to stand up to the sand team, but at the same time, once sand goes up, Talonflame's kind of SOL.
Alright, give me a sec. I'll be back.
Not a problem. So, but yeah, that's your transactions for this week. When Savage returns, we'll talk about Kill Death. I'll start into it, and then hopefully he's back by the time we get to it. But Megazard X on the back of a 6-0 sweep again. Its second 6-0 sweep of the season. Is now your kill leader at 12. Gardevoir, standard Gardevoir has 9. Mega Arrow at 8. G-Max Grimmsnarl falling down to 4th with 8. Kartana with 8. G-Max Melmetal with 8. Comfey with 6. Dreadnought with 6. Scissor with 6. Suicune with 6. For your top 10, then you get Charizard, Empoleon, Gmax Hat, Hydreigon, Machamp, Mawile, Mew, Conkeldurr, Vish, and Holt as your top 20. My opinion on this is the fact that Mega Charizard X is up there is really stunning. Gardevoir being number 2 overall in kills, also very stunning. Grimmsnarl makes a lot of sense. Kartana makes some sense. Gmax Metal. The fact that Comfey and Dreadnought are in the top 10 is astounding, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, Gmax Dreadnought without rain support in the top 10, and Comfey, of all things, being in the top 10.
My opinion, like, being surprising, Comfey, yes, it lost in Power Fire. It lost its way of hitting Steel types really effectively and Poison types. So, having 6 kills, you're using it really well in the Gen 8 league. And same for Dreadnought. Dreadnought without Swift Swim sucks complete ass. Like, ass. But the fact that you can run a Rock Polish set, expecting someone to switch out, and then surprise them with the Gmax Stone Surge?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, Gmax Stone Surge, or with like a Max Quake or a Max Knuckle to raise your attack even further with the Life Orb. It's really good.
It's definitely a powerhouse Mon. It's just not a Mon that typically functions well outside of rain, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it truly is stunning to see this top 20 and how it's shaking out, because there's a lot of Mons that should be up here, as we say every week. There are a lot of Mons missing. Like, the fact that Arctozolt has more kills than Cinderace.
That's saying something. That's saying something.
And Kyurem Black.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I mean, even my standard Melmetal isn't up there. Like, it's a shocker, to say the least, to see how these are unfolding. But as far as the kill-death ratio goes, Charizard's still king at +10. But Charizard literally has gotten its two deaths came in the 2 matches that it didn't 6-0 sweep.
Yep.
Matthias defined it best. It's either boom or bust with X. He's either going to boom and get a 6-0 sweep, or he's going to bust and die right away.
Yeah.
But pretty much kind of the same situation. Like, just a few Mons rotating here and there as to who's in the top 20 for the K-death ratio. So Charizard's still in the top 10 somewhere, so...
Charizard represent.
Yep. Well, there's 2 Charizards in the top 10, so yeah, Charizard represent. So then, as far as... This was an anomaly that I wanted to point out, because the previous weeks had been all pretty decent, kind of close games. Not a lot of, like, super... not a lot of super body bags, but this week was body bag central.
Yo, facts. That's actual fact.
Ian getting a 5-0, Photon getting a 6-0, Matthias getting a 6-0, Damien and Spare dropping 4-0s. Like, you had, of 10 games, you only had 3 that weren't body bags. Granted, Thriller and Zippy haven't played, but depending on how that score comes out, this week was literally body bag central.
Yep.
So it may be coaches are figuring out their teams, and so it's body bag central, or the schedule when it was generated just made a very, very nasty week for everyone.
Yeah, very nasty schedule.
Yeah. So as far as the kind of highlight match, we've got Photon versus Slick, and I'm just gonna let it roll here, and then Savage and I will talk about it.
So, matchup preview. Like I said before, no ground resist means very detrimental saying that Rhyperior is going to hit hard.
Yeah, Rhyperior kind of has a field day. I do think Slick led correctly, but he played himself early.
Yeah, reading how to read was good, so he prevent rocks and stuff like that.
The Psyshock read, though, was kind of obvious. He should have gone for another D-Gleam. But the big thing that just killed me watching was about turn 8 or 9, when he started switching things into Earthquake.
To take damage.
Yeah, because at that point, he put himself so hard damaged that Scissor could win late game. I also question no Fire Punch on Professor X.
Metagross doesn't get Fire Punch.
Does it only get Ice and Thunder?
Yep. This is why Metagross sucks. That's his worst pseudo.
No, it's just like Zeraora doesn't get Ice Punch.
Yeah. That crit on the Hydreigon sucked as well, because that... if it was Shuka, could have potentially surprised the Rhyperior.
Don't know, but as you guys just saw, once Earthquake damage goes off, +2 Scissor comes in, and bada bing, bada boom, bada bang.
Just win.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to having to play Photon at all.
Yeah. I don't even know if I play him this season. Hope I don't.
Let me check. I honestly don't remember if you drew the Photon stick or not. I know Photon's got Ian, which is going to be a primetime matchup.
Yeah. That's going to be highlight next week.
Yes, you did draw the Photon stick.
So when are we playing?
Week 9.
Week 8? Oh, damn. Okay.
He's probably the hardest coach you have left on your schedule.
I wouldn't say any of that until we say matchup-wise. Until I say, like, mid-match, I'd be like, damn, I don't got an answer for this. It's when you start to panic.
Well, still. Yeah, you drew that card, so... Yeah, no, Photon is once again flexing his muscle, and Photon, I'm tired of you saying you're not good at Draft League. You made it to semis in APA, you made it to finals in D-League, and only lost because you both decided you had to Toxic Stall each other. Just to spite me. You are 4-0 here, like... Yeah, DGBA didn't go so well. That doesn't mean you're not good. It's DGBA.
And in my opinion, DGBA, not trying to, like, get snake eyes or something, but it was a free draft. So there's guaranteed a team where it's just, like, absolutely broken, and it's just, like, nothing you can do about it. So I guess having a free draft makes your season go really well or really poorly.
Yeah, so, Photon, enough of the crap about being an inferior battle. If you beat Ian, you cannot say you're an inferior battler ever again. So, my little message to Photon there. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up this week. That'll be our week 4 recap, quarter of the way through the season. Still have 8 weeks to go. However, for some teams, desperation time might be starting to sink in. Other teams are comfortably cruising, but need to be careful that they don't get too complacent over the next few weeks. I don't know when the bye week's going to happen, if we're even going to have one. Jake and I still have to determine if we need that. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this week. Thank you to Savage for stopping by and breaking down the transactions and all that. You guys will get to see Savage again here shortly on the channel because he and I get to throw down this week, and we'll see if I can beat him like I did in playoffs last season, or if Savage is going to do what he typically does, which is take me to school. And I swear to God, if you bring the Stored Power Necro, the Dragon Dance Kyurem that you've beaten me with, and you bring the Hitmonchan with Scarf, because Damien beat me with Scarfed Hitmonchan just to rub salt in the wound, I'm gonna be real mad. So
We'll see. We'll see.
Don't punish me and test me to see if I've learned my lesson from my previous mistakes, because I haven't. But yeah.
We'll see.
That'll be it. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks again, Savage.
No problem. No problem.